So I wanted to make this video here. I don't know if it's going to reach many people. This is going to be a video that I'm going to post to YouTube and to Instagram. Um, this is going to be a topic of discussion about the importance of the upcoming election. Now I know I don't like to talk too much about the politics on my YouTube channel, but I feel like that this time it's important to send one last message about this upcoming election. And I get tired about hearing how this race is going to be a close one, because this really shouldn't be that hard of a decision for people. You have Donald Trump, the convicted felon, found guilty on 34 charges by his own peers in New York. It wasn't people from like the deep state. It was people from New York on the jury, just regular working people who took the time out of their lives to listen to the case, and they found Trump guilty on all 34 charges. Kamala Harris is not a convicted felon, so that's one. Donald Trump has been found guilty of or liable of sexual assault on a woman. That's not someone who should be in the Oval Office. A potential rapist or sexual assault, I'm not really sure, to be honest with you, what the difference really is. But still, that's nasty. And yet people still side with it, because for many people out there, it does not matter what the courts say, what the facts say, what the news say. All that matters is what does MAGA say. And you can't stay stuck in that bubble. You've got to, and you know what? I would like to say you've got to break through, but this video message is not for MAGA, because it's so hard to change some of their opinions, especially if you're really stuck in there. But this video is to try to reach out to those who are undecided voters out there, because it's time to make a choice. And I implore you to think about your choice about voting for Kamala Harris, because allow me to give you just some basic details here. If you'd like to do your own studying, I highly recommend Brian Tyler Cohen on YouTube. That is someone that I go to a lot, and it's just, it's someone who I trust, and he breaks things down to make it easier to follow politics. Anyways, so random shout out to Brian. But since you're here, allow me to talk to you about some of the basic just policies that we're looking for here in Kamala Harris, and where Donald Trump has none. He doesn't have any. You want to talk about getting your prices lowered down? Kamala Harris is talking about going after the price gougers out there to make sure that they cannot raise the prices where they shouldn't be anymore. Because some people are still utilizing about inflation. Inflation is at its lowest point in all of the world here in America. At, last I heard 2%. That's actually the norm right there. We're not in high inflation anymore. And people are still trying to take advantage of the inflation talking point because they want to raise the prices and, mooch off of you. So Kamala Harris is going to try to make sure that shit gets shut the fuck down. And that it's not going to be possible anymore to do that. What is Donald Trump's plan? Well, originally Donald Trump had actually just said, when somebody asked him, how are you going to make America affordable again? He said, just vote for me and I'll make it perfect. He didn't have a plan. But now his plan is actually tariffs. So, good on Donald Trump for actually coming up with a plan. The problem is, it's a shitty plan. Every single person out there has said tariffs do not help people like you and me the consumer. They actually hurt us by raising prices. So Donald Trump, in my opinion, my brain, I think Donald Trump just thinks that we don't know what tariffs are. Because I'll be honest, I had no idea what a tariff was until he actually said it. I never heard of the word. So I think he just thinks that it sounds like a big boy word and that we're too stupid to really know what a tariff is. And he's just like, well, just do it. Because that's how I feel like he views all of you. Stupid. And he could say whatever the hell he wants and get away with it. But the problem is, he does. He literally said he could shoot somebody and it wouldn't even matter on 5th Avenue. You remember that back in like the 2016? Literally said all that. Donald Trump is still lying about legal Haitian immigrants in Springfield, Ohio, and talking about deporting legal, let me say that again, legal immigrants that are in Springfield, Ohio. People who are there working legally. They're there legally. But does Donald Trump care? No, get them the fuck out. Even if it's all a bunch of bullshit and he's just faking that speech, he's just faking that shit just to make it sound popular, just so he can get more votes, that's wrong. That's wrong speech, even if he doesn't plan on following through with it. But really, would you put it past him? Donald Trump, when it comes to gun safety, we just gotta get past it. When a mass shooting happens, it's terrible. It's just terrible. It's terrible. Yes. What are we gonna do about it? Thoughts and prayers. No more thoughts and prayers. It's time for action. Because what we're doing now is not working. And only one side of the party is actually wants to do something about it. And that's the Democrats. Basic background checks, red flag laws put out there, banning assault rifles. You know, the same assault rifles that have threatened Donald Trump's life twice, and the same assault rifles that are basically always used in these mass shootings. Banning assault rifles is a good thing. If you're a gun owner, what do you need an assault rifle for? That shit belongs only in the military to protect your fellow man in the army, not for fucking hunting deer or for fucking defending your house. That's to cause mass killings. Is an assault rifle. I don't own a gun, but I know I know it. It's what's always used 9 times out of 10 in these mass shootings is the assault rifle. So getting rid of that is not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. Are we going to stop all the mass shootings out there? I don't know. But what I do know is that doing something about it can lessen the gun violence that's out there. Donald Trump does not care about it. It's not important to him. Even though when you think about it, it should be. Because again, there was an assassination attempt on the president of the United States. Or the former president in this case, I'm sorry. So, it's just, you would think that he'd want to do something about it, but he really doesn't care about it. It's not high on his agenda. Let's talk about this one. There's only one party, and you're lying to yourself if you think that the Republicans are actually going to care about Roe v. Wade. If they're actually going to care about a woman's right to choose on abortion. Only the Democrats care. Because here's Donald Trump lying to you again, saying that both parties wanted this. A lie. I didn't want it. I don't know any Democrats who actually really wanted Roe v. Wade overturned. But that doesn't matter to Donald Trump. Just keep lying. That's the motto of Donald Trump. Just keep lying. Just keep lying. Remember how Dory the fish in Finding Nemo kept saying, just keep swimming, just keep swimming? Donald Trump, just keep lying, just keep lying. That's how he goes. He said, send it back to the States. Realistically, that sounds peaceful, but here's the problem with something like that. There are states out there that have no exceptions for rape, incest, or health care of the mother, and there are certain states out there that are not getting voted on this issue within years. And so that's going to cause more women to die, because yes, women are dying from Roe v. Wade being overturned because doctors cannot perform a simple procedure to save a woman's life, and if they do, they are threatened with jail. And you don't blame the doctors. I've said this before, do not blame the doctors for not acting, because they shouldn't be in that position in the first place. It's easy for us to say that we would do whatever it takes to save a woman's life. We should not be angry at the doctors. We should be angry at the Republicans who have made that decision to jail doctors who save lives. Only the Democrats care, because Donald Trump does not care what is happening. He does not care. There are states out there that have 6-week abortion bans, and Donald Trump, look, he can say what he wants about there has to be exceptions out there. That's good on Donald Trump. The problem is nobody cares what he says when he says that. They don't believe him, because he's the one who got rid of Roe v. Wade. He's the one who said that he's happy that he did it. He's the one who said that everybody wanted this. So nobody believes him. And people think that the more extreme that they are, the more votes they'll get, the more clicks they'll get, the more donations that they'll get from their voters, with being as extreme as Donald Trump is. Kamala Harris wants to help save lives and just give the choice back to women. It's like Tim Walz says, mind your own damn business. I said this before. When you're talking about we the people, it's not we the government who gets to control what women do. And let me tell you this, okay? It's not just, Roe v. Wade being overturned that affects the women. It affects us men too, because we're the ones who have to watch our spouses suffer when a pregnancy has gone wrong, and we can't, the man and woman can't get the help that they need to just help their spouse. This is not just a woman thing. It is a human being thing. And it does not need to be run through the states. No, it should just be accepted like it was for 50 years? 50 or 52? I don't know, but it was legal for the longest time. And look, you may not like the idea of abortion, but that doesn't fucking matter. It's not your body, and it's not your choice. When it's your body, it's your choice on what you want to do. But that's the woman's body. It's her choice. I've always been of accepting of that. And look, again, you may not like it, but that's just the basic human protection that we need out there. People think that abortion is just, I had a one-night stand, and so kill off my baby. I'm not ready to be a mother. No, it's not what it just is. It's literally about, health care for the woman out there. People, do you realize if there was no Roe v. Wade, do you realize how many bodies would actually be piling up after all the years of Roe v. Wade being in place? Do you realize how many bodies of women we would have buried by this point? At this point, I know that there are 2 women that have died from Roe v. Wade being overturned, and doctors is not being able to operate because people are just not giving exceptions out there. And even when they say the health care of the mother, sure, they're waiting until a woman is basically meeting the Grim Reaper himself. And at that point, it's too late. 9.9 times out of 10, it's too late. You waited too long and you killed a woman. All because you wanted to be extreme. because you do not care. That is how I view people who keep it to a 10 on the extreme level. You want to talk about the border? Okay, let's talk. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, under this administration, came up with a bipartisan border bill to lessen border crossings. And it was actually such a good border bill. Republicans went out there and said that it was the best damn border bill they're ever going to get. What did Donald Trump do? Hello? Yes. Mike Johnson. I'll just use, now I won't use Mike Johnson as an example because I don't know, but called up some of his Republican colleagues and was like, don't do it. Don't do it. Vote against it. It's too good. I saw that shit. It's way too good. And I need the votes because I have nothing else to run on. If there's no problems, what the fuck am I going to do? So they killed the border bill. The same Republicans who like to talk about, the border crossings are. Well, then why'd you vote against it? Well, I stutter, nothing. Kamala Harris wants to bring back that border bill. She said so on the debate stage with Donald Trump. And yikes, that debate with Donald Trump. If you think that Donald Trump won that debate, you're lying to yourself. Stop lying to yourself. Be a little bit more honest with yourself right there, for one. What does Donald Trump want to do? Just mass deportations here. He wants to continue building that wall that he said that Mexico would pay for, but Mexico never offered up a damn dime to pay for that wall there. Mass deportations on how? How's it going to happen? What's the process of knowing who's legal and who's not? He doesn't have a plan for it. He's been asked upon it. Doesn't have a plan for it. He's like, it's hard, but we're going to get it done. He doesn't have plans. His sentences are, it's going to be perfect. It's going to be great. Everyone's going to love it. I'm just going to make things great. Perfect. How? How are you going to do it, Donald? Well, just trust me. That's literally the process of Donald Trump. Say it's going to be great. Say it's going to be good. Say it's going to be perfect. Say everyone's going to love it. And immediately we're just supposed to believe him. With no facts, no plans. You want to talk about Kamala Harris policy, but when she gives you policy, where's your questions on Donald Trump policy? Where is it? Why don't you have it? And let's just talk about, to finish off with this one, character. People like to talk about a president's character. What character does Donald Trump have? He is a narcissist, egomaniac, who doesn't care who he hurts. There have been bomb threats in Springfield, Ohio. But does that make him stop lying about Springfield, Ohio, about the legal Haitian immigrants again being there? Does that stop him from talking about it and insulting them? No, of course not. Let's talk about character. Donald Trump literally was talking about how bad Detroit is in Detroit. He insults states. But this time, he did it in the state itself, or the city itself. What? Are you fucking stupid? Well, the answer is yes. Donald Trump uses speeches, the same type of language that Adolf Hitler used, calling immigrants vermin, calling them crazy, stupid. You need your brain examined if you're a Jew and you vote for a Democrat. Donald Trump said if he doesn't win the election, blame the Jews. Boy, that sure seems like something that Adolf Hitler would say, huh? That seems like something that the Nazis would say. Blame the Jews. Can you believe that? Can you? Although, unfortunately, you can. Unfortunately, you can believe that. And you would think that that was just the media making shit up. You would think that I just made that up. He literally said that. He literally said, if we lose this election, I think it's going to be the Jews' fault. To this day, that still makes me angry. Because that's fucking Nazi talk. And people, they always give this. Oh, that's just Trump being Trump. Oh, he's just joking. He didn't mean it. It's a joke. Jokes are supposed to be funny. How is that funny? So, wait, when are you going to start taking him seriously? Because if you don't take him seriously, why the fuck would you vote for him? Why? I'm being serious here. If he's supposed to be a clown, he's not funny. You want a clown as a president of the United States again? No, sir. No, thank you. Let's go back to the border real quick. It's actually been proven that there are less people crossing the border right now than when Donald Trump left office. There was more border crossings in Trump's presidency when he left office than there are right now. Let's go back to character. Donald Trump continues to lie about goddamn everything. Everything. No human empathy from this man. Just, when I was growing up, I used to say, I hate this and that. And my dad told me, don't use hate. That's a word that is just, you could say I dislike, not a fan of, that there are nicer words to utilize. And so I always try to remind myself of that. I always try to remember how I can use a different word and not hate. But I hate this man. I hate Donald Trump. I hate for what he has done to this country about being able to spread disinformation. And it's okay. It's not okay. It's not. But he's gotten away with it for so long. And it's a cult. The MAGA is a cult. It really is, because you are stuck and you only believe the words of one man, Donald Trump. He will not debate Kamala Harris again. This is the strong man. This is the guy that they claim is to be the strong man. He won't debate Kamala Harris again because he knows he fucked up. He knows he lost, even though he's stupid enough to actually tell you all that he won the debate. And he's like, well, when the fighter wins, why would he want to do another rematch? Hey, Dumbo, you wanted a rematch with Joe Biden when you won the debate, even though you were lying your ass off during the debate. But that didn't matter because you didn't get fact-checked there. But poor Donald Trump, when he had to go on 60 Minutes, when he agreed to it, then he realized, oh shit, they're going to fact-check me. Cancel. Delete it. Because he doesn't want facts. He wants to lie. This man's a coward. You want to vote for a coward? This man will bow down to Vladimir Putin. He already does. It was said when we were in the pandemic and we were struggling to get COVID tests out there for American citizens here in the United States of America. What did he do? Hey, Putin, take him. Take them all. I love you so much. Gave him to Putin because he loves him. He will suck up to him. He will kiss his ass because that's Donald Trump. Putin says, pull out of Ukraine, we leave. Actually, we're not even in Ukraine. American soldiers are not in Ukraine. We are simply funding Ukraine to fight the war that Russia started. But Donald Trump's character praised Putin while standing next to President Zelensky, talking about how he has a great relationship with him. Donald Trump was asked twice on the debate stage, who do you want to win, Ukraine or Russia? He wouldn't answer the question. Do you want to know why? Because he's Vladimir Putin's puppet. Putin's puppet. Donald Trump is PP. Putin's puppet. I just came up with that one on the top of my head there. And look, when this war started, so many of Americans were with Ukraine on this. But it feels like as time has gone on that people are starting to pull out. That they don't want, nobody wanted this war. But it feels like that there are people out there that are actually pulling away their support because they're tired of it. If you think you're tired of the war, picture what the Ukrainians are feeling like. If they don't get the funding that they need, Ukraine will fall, and Putin will not stop there. Putin will be the one. It has been said that Putin could be the one that would lead us into a World War III. And you think but do you think Donald Trump would actually go against Putin? You're crazy if you think so. Donald Trump would never stand against Putin. When our allies are in trouble, and if Putin is the villain, he's going to put his hands up and he's going to say, well, it doesn't affect us. As long as he's not attacking, America. Doesn't care. Doesn't matter about our allies around the world. Doesn't care. And those are important. Protecting our relationships with our allies around the world is important. But Donald Trump wouldn't care. He wouldn't. Now I'm going to end with this. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Kamala Harris's character. Kind, compassionate, loving, does not speak with hate. She speaks with unity, bringing the country together, ending the disinformation, ending this the division that we have. She's literally willing to work with Republicans. She's not just going to be one-sided. It's like, Democrats are the only good guys. That's it. I don't want to work with any Republicans. We've seen your true colors. No, she wants to work together. Isn't that what America's supposed to be? We can have differences of opinions, but let's work together. Isn't that what it's supposed to be? Kamala Harris believes in the American dream. Donald Trump has said that right now the American dream is dead. I don't like when he speaks about how our country is in shambles. I don't like how he talks about how we're a failing nation, and if Kamala Harris wins, we're only going to be like the worst country in the world, basically. He attacks America. He literally tries to make you hate America. That is how I view Donald Trump. He tries to make you hate the country that you live in. Then go ahead and move, Donald. Go ahead and move. Get out. You don't want to be here? Get out. Although maybe, I don't know, when you have to face your court cases, maybe you won't be able to leave. Legal court cases. So, when you're looking at this election should not be hard. Donald Trump continues to lie about the 2020 election, which led to January 6th, and he's going to continue to lie and say that it was all rigged against him this time around too. Is that really someone that you want? You want a liar? You want a thief? You want a convicted felon? You want a man found liable of sexual assault on a woman? Is that really what you want in a president of the United States? Someone who is cruel? someone who speaks with hate in their heart. People like to talk about how Donald Trump is, they like that he's not afraid to speak his mind. The ability to speak does not make one intelligent. Donald Trump is neither intelligent nor kind. He continues to lie, continues to attack, continues to spread disinformation and misinformation, and doesn't want to be fact-checked on it because he wants to continue to lie and just get away with it. That's a man that you want in the President of the United States? We can do better than that. Is Kamala Harris going to be the most perfect president of all time? Probably not. Mistakes might happen, but she's better than the other side. And I'm not even just saying because she's not Donald Trump, I'll vote for her. I vote for her because I trust her. This election is not hard. This election is easy to see the differences between these two candidates. And it's been said before over and over again by people that I watch on YouTube. Kamala Harris is never going to be the most perfect president. There's never been a perfect president. This job is hard. It's hard. The job of the President of the United States is hard. It's hard to take on all those responsibilities. And so it's all part of just taking up the job. But here's another thing. Why are so many Republicans actually endorsing Kamala Harris and not Donald Trump? Ask yourself that. Why are they doing that? Because they know of the chaos, the destruction, the lies, the violence that Donald Trump could and has spread already before. And another term where he will have nobody to tell him, no, you can't do that, Mr. President. Nobody's going to stop him this time around. Donald Trump himself had said, maybe I was too nice my first time around. He's going to be worse if elected again. You can't let that happen. And look, I always say, you have a choice. I will never judge anybody by who they decide to vote for. I will never name call somebody for choosing Donald Trump. But this election is too important for people to miss out on. And you need to do your studying. I've been paying attention. I was too late to vote in 2020. I tried to register and I was too late. Thankfully, Joe Biden won. But in the time, the 4 years that Donald Trump has been gone from the presidency, he's gotten worse. He has never changed and never will. He has not tried to bring in outside voters because he just wants to stay with MAGA. He wants to stay one-sided. He's not trying to help your lives. He wants to help himself to stay out of prison. Donald Trump wants all the power of being president of the United States, but doesn't want the responsibility of running the country. That's him. That's fact. This election is easy. And so I just think that if you're an undecided voter, you need to decide. And I'm hoping that you decide to vote with Kamala Harris. But again, it's your choice. But when you're if you want a president who is kind and caring, you're lying to yourself if you think it's Donald Trump. If you want a president who is going to lower prices, it's not Donald Trump. His tariffs plan is going to raise prices. Everybody I've ever heard, Mark Cuban being the most common, explaining to you, Mark Cuban, the guy from Shark Tank, who knows about prices and shit, I'd assume, has told us all. Tariffs make things worse. Donald Trump, even on Fox News, one of the hosts actually said that tariffs would actually make things more expensive. He said, no. I just said, but it's been proven. It's like, well, he doesn't know. He doesn't understand. He doesn't get it. He has no plans. Although his plans are just evil ones. They're not good ones. They don't work. for people like you and me. The right to choose belongs to you and me on of abortion. It doesn't belong to the government. It doesn't belong to the states. It belongs to the people. Donald Trump will just keep things as they are. Kamala Harris wants to give the choice back to the humans, to American citizens, to people like you and me. It's basic. It's easy to understand. Donald Trump probably won't even want to fix the border. Why? Because he would love to just talk about how bad the border is and how, oh, if you want me to help, if you want me to save this country, you need to send me money so I can get more funding for the border. Donald Trump called in the Republicans again to close up the border bill because he wanted the problem. He didn't want to fix it. He didn't want to fix the border at all. So it's just, when you think about it, Kamala Harris wants to work with the border bill to get, things taken care of. More workers at the border, more like AI or something like higher technology at the border. Sounds good to me. What is Donald Trump's plan? Deportation. How will you do it, Donald Trump? Well, it's just gotta get done. It's very important. How will you be able to tell who's legal or not legal? Numbers. We're gonna put numbers on people. I can't speak on that, but I'm pretty sure I actually heard about putting numbers on immigrants. Where have I heard that before? Starts with an H, ends with a T, sounds like Holocaust to me. Again, I would research that one because I know I've seen that before, but I don't really have much to tell about that story because it's not fresh in the brain 100%. It's exhausting to me that this election still feels hard for some people. And I know that I've been talking a long time, but this is just someone who is not heavy into knowing all of the politics. Really, this shit just, it's easy. Politicking is hard, but understanding the differences between these two candidates is easy. If I can see it, you can see it. I said this. This message was not to sway the MAGA party, because I would like for some people to be able to leave it and realize reality, to wake up from it. For some people, they've been able to escape their false narrative of Donald Trump. They've been able to see through this man's bullshit, and they've been able to say that I may not agree with everything that Kamala Harris's policies are, but I know that she would do the job better. So if Republicans out there can say that, and it might be time for MAGA to say the same thing, but this message wasn't to change someone from MAGA's mind. This message was sent, try to help undecided voters out there understand about how easy this election is, and that it's time to choose. It's time to decide. Because this election, you can't sit idly by. Undecided. If you're registered to vote, you gotta vote. And check if you can still register to vote. I don't know if it's possible because it might be too late. But try. At least try to register to vote. And if you've got the opportunity, you can do early day voting. Mail-in votes. Your vote matters. Or if you're going to vote on election day, come prepared when you're standing in line. Bring gum, bring snacks, bring water, bring whatever you want. Bring your headphones to listen to music while you're waiting in line, because the lines may be long, but it's not something to walk away from. I said this before as like kind of like a little picture joke. It's not like you rode your favorite roller coaster at your theme park and the lines are long. You're like, oh, I've rode this before. I'll just go ahead and leave. No biggie. This is important to wait for. This is worth waiting for, and it's worth voting for. And I know this video was long, but this was important for me to talk about because this video is going to YouTube, and it's the last video that I'm going to make about this election coming up. And so when I make these videos, I always say that you don't have to hit the subscribe, the like button, things like that. You can leave comments, but if you do, I ask you to please be respectful down there. I will not be responding to anyone who sends hate out there. You will not get my attention because you do not deserve it. And please, again, do your research. Brian Tyler Cohen is someone that I highly respect and recommend. He's the one who got me to really understand politics big time, just watching his videos. It's easy to learn and easy to see the differences between the two candidates. Do your study, do your research. I gave just some of the basic differences here because I feel it's important for me to talk too. So I thank you all for listening, and just do your study, do your research, and then vote. And you've got to be careful with where you get your information from, because you can't take it from just Donald Trump. Take it from the experts out there. Donald Trump, another thing, has been politicizing off the hurricanes, politicizing off the suffering of others. That's what you want in a president? Someone who doesn't care. That's a heartless son of a bitch in my eyes. And I can't vote for someone like that. I would love to try to give Donald Trump the benefit of the doubt. But here's the problem. His lies are so easily seen through. He can't even hide it. I can't give him the benefit of the doubt when he's too easily able to see through with his bullshit lies. I've never been able to understand the man. And I never want to. Call it one-sided, call it closed-minded if you want. But when you hear him continue to lie, it's like the boy who cried wolf. When it's done over and over and over again, eventually, you just stop paying attention because he doesn't deserve it. That's why people leave his rallies, because they're tired. I'm tired of you, Donald. And we're going to stay tired of you, and you're going to stay fired from the White House come election day. I feel it. I feel the energy from people, and I feel people are ready to tell you how they feel. Stay the fuck gone, you convicted fucking felon. Stay gone.